So I was just playing around with this little camera. It's the Canon PowerShot SD780, and I was just thinking how insane it is that we have come from this to this. I don't know what it is about these little cameras. I absolutely love it. I've been messing around with it and just trying to test out the capabilities, and knowing what I do now, just trying to get good results with little cameras like this is just a really good time. So if you ever have a chance, definitely try it out. And yeah, so today's video is going to be an interesting one. What is going on, everybody? My name is Matt Willie, and I'm a professional videographer based out of Wyoming. I typically specialize in weddings, and I travel all across the country doing that for a living. For those of you that might not be new to the channel, you know that I'm actually a Fujifilm shooter. I shoot with the Fujifilm X-T4, and I've been with that system for a while now. I actually started on the Canon R6, and ever since I left, I've kind of been wanting to test out the waters in Canon's ecosystem again. So over the past week, I was able to get an absolutely insane deal on the camera I'm filming on right now, the Canon EOS R5. This camera is absolutely crazy, and towards the end of the video, I'll reveal the price I got it at. It is absolutely nuts, and it was a deal I really couldn't pass up. So in today's video, I really just want to detail the reasoning for why I'm switching back to the Canon R5, and also why I'm not getting rid of my Fujifilm X-T4. So let's get right into it. So starting off with the first and most obvious advantage that the Canon has over the Fujifilm is reliable autofocus. Being a wedding shooter, having reliable autofocus is absolutely mandatory for me so that I don't miss important moments that just don't happen over again. Simply put, Canon is incredible in the autofocus department. I've been able to adapt old EF glass and get amazing results over and over again. The eye tracking works like a dream in both photo and video modes, and it's something that I have absolutely no problem with relying on in a wedding scenario. On the other hand, I just can't really say the same about the Fujifilm X-T4. I can't rely on it like I can the Canon, and here are a couple of reasons why. Many of Fuji's XF lenses are still relying on older autofocus motors that can't keep up with tracking moving subjects. This makes me extremely limited in my lens choices to only the lenses that have their new linear motors that are more optimized for video. But now that I'm saying that, even the lenses with the linear motors still struggle with erratic, jumpy movements and just struggle overall with reliability. Philip Bloom made a really good video detailing this subject, and I'll link it down below. It's absolutely incredible. I really recommend you watch that. And he kind of goes over the best Fujifilm lenses for video. But in that video, you really see how unreliable it is. And in my own testing and in my own workflow, I've been able to find the same results. This autofocus, I would say, unreliability has caused me to make annoying compromises that I just wouldn't have to do when shooting with Canon or if I was shooting with Sony, for example. These include placing the little point box on your subject and keeping it there, but things like that really cause you to compromise on the way I personally like to shoot. I don't want to have to be worrying about whether a box is where my subject is to fall back on in case the tracking fails. With Canon, you have edge-to-edge coverage, and you really just don't have to worry about it at all. Now, stop real quick. Before we go any further, I really do want to say that none of this has kept me from getting amazing results over and over again, because you can get amazing results, but when you're comparing the technology between the Canon and the Fuji, it really just isn't even close right now. The Canon is far superior in autofocus technology, and that's why I think that it's one of the reasons that I will trust it in a professional environment. Next up, I think we absolutely have to talk about the RF glass. Yes, it's expensive and it's heavy and out of a lot of people's price range, but as someone that's a working professional like myself, making money off of my equipment and using it for work, that price is very justified, worth every single penny, as it's making me my money back on my investment very quickly. I have had a chance to test a few of them, like the RF 28-70 f2, and let me just say, that thing is an absolute beast of a lens. I was absolutely blown away by the capabilities. It was almost having 3 primes in one for video, which is incredible. Super fast autofocus, and outside of it being an absolute monster to carry around, I absolutely love that lens, and I think that innovations made like that by Canon is just really pushing the envelope in lenses, and something I'm not really seeing from Fujifilm at the moment. Along with the 1.2 primes, I would say I'm really confident in my investment to keep paying off for years to come, and for Canon to keep that development going and really keep innovating in the lens world. I think lenses are something that are super overlooked when choosing a camera system by beginners and by people just starting out in photography and videography. And in my opinion, I think lenses should be at the top of your list of priorities, and in terms of Canon's lenses, nobody really does it better. And this isn't even mentioning the fact that Canon has come so far in their camera body technology with the R5 and R6 just in the last 3 years since they released the EOS R. I think it's absolutely incredible how far they've been able to come, and that makes me really confident again in my ability to keep upgrading my camera bodies down the road and keep using my beautiful RF lenses. But before we move any further, I do want to mention that it is rumored that the Fujifilm X-H2 is going to be released next year with a brand new stack sensor, which is going to bring things like 8K video, faster shooting speeds with the electronic shutter, just ridiculous readout speeds. I think this is going to shock the camera world, but unfortunately I'm just not confident enough in the Fuji lens development moving forward in the future to be able to catch up to that incredible camera body technology. Aside from some of the things I mentioned so far, there are a couple smaller issues that Canon definitely has an upper edge on. Some of these honestly might not matter as much to you as they do to me, but the first thing that comes to mind is ergonomics. So I personally, as a videographer, I like to have a beefier grip. I do have larger hands, so Canon definitely has a better grip, and I prefer it to the Fujifilm grip. Personally, when I'm holding the Fujifilm, it never really feels secure in my hands, and so yeah, I really just enjoy the bigger grip on the Canon R5. Another thing that has to do with ergonomics is all of the custom buttons on the back of the R5 are super awesome for being able to map different functions to those buttons and access them super quickly. Also, I really enjoy having custom video modes and custom photo modes that the Fuji doesn't have, and this just makes changing settings in quick run and gun situations just a breeze with the Canon R5 compared to the Fujifilm. Kind of the last thing I want to mention, another reason I switched over to the R5, of course, maybe the most obvious would actually be the sheer power of this camera. Honestly, the retail price of this camera at $38.99 puts it in a completely different price bracket, completely different league compared to the Fujifilm X-T4 at $16.99, I believe. But honestly, I did get it at a crazy good used price. Again, I'll let you know that maybe in another video, maybe not this video, but maybe in another video I'm gonna make that definitely known that I got this R5 for an absolute ridiculous steal of a price. But that price is really justified, like I was saying earlier. For me, as someone that does this professionally, as someone that does this making money off of it consistently, that price is worth every single penny for something that's more reliable for my business in particular. But if we're on the conversation of price, I also have to mention that aside from the larger resolution sensor, 8K, 4K 120, and custom video modes, you can get basically all of the same features as this Canon R5 with Canon's R6, which is about $2,500 retail right now. I know you can find it cheaper used as well, looking on places like Facebook Marketplace, but if you are on more of a budget and want to go with the Canon system, I do recommend the R6. You can get it for a lot cheaper than you can the R5 brand new. Now we're getting towards the end of this video, but I really did want to mention that I am not getting rid of my Fujifilm X-T4, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Starting out, I just want to say that the image produced by the Fujifilm X-T4 is absolutely insane. Seriously, like regardless of everything mentioned in this video, the footage is absolutely beautiful. I do love a few other things about the Fuji system. Like I love the film simulations. I love just the look of the camera. The aesthetic is so cool. Honestly, I think it's probably the best looking camera system that I've ever seen. I really do love the interface of the Fuji cameras, and they're built rock solid, all solid metal, and so they can really take a beating. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to just that beautiful image that you get out of the Fujifilm X-T4. And that's really a reason why I'm gonna keep it as my B camera, and I'm definitely going to continue using it in weddings. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for listening to me tell you about why I think the Canon R5 is going to be a fantastic choice for me, and hopefully it made your buying decisions just a little bit easier. If you've made it to this point in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to this channel to keep this content coming to you guys, and drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate that, as it helps me a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And then comment down below if you agree or disagree with anything. Keep it nice, but I'll be in the discussion down there. So feel free to comment and tell me what you think. But other than that, I appreciate you all being here, and have a great day. Peace.